All right. My contemplation this morning is on soya beans oil. Soya beans oil. There are billions of dollars being made in soya beans oil, but unfortunately, Nigeria is missing out. And what I try to do whenever I talked about this is not to talk about the problem. We all know the problem. It's to focus on solutions. So, what can Nigeria do differently? What can we learn from countries that have gotten it right? Because some countries have gotten it right, actually, and they've been doing so well in this space. And we can learn something from them. So rather than complaining about what is not working and lamenting, lamenting on what is not working, what can we do differently? That will be my focus this morning. Now, first of all, is to identify what is the demand for this product in the world. I mean, the global demand or global import of soya beans oil. Soya beans oil. Soya beans oil demand is about $13.5 billion. $13.5 billion. You know, when you look at some of and this is just one value chain of soya beans oil, one option. Soya beans demand on its own is about 100 billion, over 90 billion, almost 100 billion. We've not seen 2024 data, but we've seen as of 2023 it was 94, 95 or 96 billion dollars. But oil alone is $13.5 billion. Two countries constitute supply 52% of global soya beans export. Two countries supply 52%. Which countries are these? Argentina and Brazil. Argentina export of this product is about 32.4% of the 13.5 billion. Brazil export is about 19.3% of the 13.5 billion. These are both South American countries. And these countries are also major supplier of soya beans. Nigeria has what it takes to also produce soya beans. As a matter of fact, Nigeria currently exports soya beans oil, soya beans meal. But my focus in this conversation is, why is it that Nigerian export of soya beans is less than 1%? Why is Nigeria missing out from the billions of dollars being earned every year by Argentina and Brazil? And by the way, who are the buyer of this product? India. 26.5% of soya beans export goes to India. 26.5%. The closest to that is China. 5.7%. The closest to that is China. 5.7%. Followed by Bangladesh. 5.13%. So anybody thinking of exporting soya beans oil, you definitely should be looking at India being a major buyer of this product from around the world. So, like I said, this is not time to be talking about the problem. We know the problem in Nigeria and in Africa. My focus is on solution. So, what can we learn? What can we learn from these countries? What are the things that Argentina has done right? What are the things that Argentina has done right? What are the things that Brazil has done right? Because these are the two major countries. Number one, expansion of soya beans cultivation. Because we need to first of all grow the volume of production of input to be able to produce the oil. Both countries have massively expanded their soya beans farming area, particularly Brazil in Cerrado region of Brazil and Pampa region of Argentina. And they are using advanced agricultural techniques to expand the production of the raw materials, required to produce this item. Number one, expansion of the cultivation of soya beans. And this is very important. Like I said, how do you even produce the oil when you don't have enough raw materials? How do you even produce the oil? How do you even produce the oil? If you don't have enough raw materials, how do you produce the oil? You can't produce the oil if you don't have raw materials. So they have invested a lot in that. Number two, they invest in agri technology and research. They have adopted biotechnology, including genetically modified soybeans, to improve yield, pest resistance, and efficiency in soil production. So they have improved variety that increase the yield per hectare. The yield per hectare, and the output of soybean, the yield of soybean oil per ton. And then pest resistance. Investment in agri technology. Number three, what make soybeans oil export 52% by two countries. Two countries control the soybeans export market. Two countries, Argentina, Brazil, both in South America. Strong processing and crushing industry. Argentina in particular has built largest soybeans crushing industry. Converting more soybeans into oil and soybeans meal for export. For export. So, whenever I go through this, and I talk about this every time, one thing you will notice is that these countries, they are very deliberate about their plan to grow export. Very deliberate. Very, very deliberate about their plan to go export. Just two countries controlling 50% of global soybeans oil supply. Two countries. We can learn from them. They have favorable trade policies and export incentives. Argentina historically implements differential export taxes that favor export, particularly processed goods like soya oil, overall. So what Argentina have done is to implement tax incentive for processors and export of soybeans oil. Overall. So if you export raw soybeans, you get taxed more than if you export soybeans oil in Argentina. Are you surprised that Argentina export of soybeans is 32% of global demand? They are building infrastructure, heavy investment in port facility, road, railway, improving logistics and reducing the cost of production to boost global competitiveness. And they decide to target major market around the world. Who are the major buyers? India. Who are the major buyers? China. Guess what? These are the people that the government is supporting the exporter to target. China, India, and the EU. Because within the EU alone, you will find a lot of buyers of this product, like Spain, like Germany, like Belgium, like Poland, like Italy, like United Kingdom. Major buyers of this product. Major buyers of this product. From what I've said so far, you understand that you should not be surprised that Nigeria exports less. Why do we export less? Of course, low production volume. Underdeveloped processing industry. There is high domestic demand, so we need to increase our production volume if we are going to be profitable abroad. Of course, our poor agricultural practice, inadequate infrastructure, and the government incentive, in my opinion, can be deemed non-existent, because for the export expansion grant, which is only operational right now in Nigeria, you get it after so many years of waiting. After so many years of waiting. So what can we learn from Argentina and Brazil? Number one, boost production volume. Expanding land being used for production. Number two, improve varieties that increase yield per hectare and yield of oil per ton. Support processing industry to be able to set up more processing. Have a policy that supports value addition rather than commodity. Incentive for value addition rather than commodity export. Build infrastructure. Target major market around the world. And you will discover that you can be one of the giants in the export of soybean oil. Thank you very much for listening again. Today is my contemplation this morning. See you in the next video and bye for now.